Look at the front pages there, which is when their engagement was announced.
Yeah.
Where's the racism?
Do you remember that was before she actually said that the institution was racist? And that's my point. How institutionalised racism works is the minute you dare say that the institution is racist, everyone piles on.
Shouting.
That's what happens.
But you accept there's no racism in those media pages.
Because that was before she said that the institution was racist.
Actually,
after that moment, that's when everyone decided to pile on.
Actually, what happened
is
a woman. People began to pile on when she started having $500,000 baby showers in New York and flying back on the Clooney private plane. They started having a pile-on. When they used Elton John's private plane like a taxi rank whilst preaching about carbon footprint. They had another pile-on when they had other huge extravagant events they went to, and then when they're preaching about poverty on their Twitter account. Time and again, they were caught being rankly hypocritical. That was why the media coverage began to turn. Then there was all the stuff with her father. Many people felt that she was unnecessarily cruel to her father. People have since criticised his own behaviour. I accept that. But certainly, to start with, they ditched him. They dropped him. Harry's never met his father-in-law in his life. You know, he proposed marriage to this girl knowing what's going to happen and then doesn't do anything to protect the father at all. And so now she's disowned him. What kind of people put compassion on their website, as they do, as being at the centre of their core being, when they live 70 miles away from this guy who has not got long for this world, he's in poor health, all he wants to do is meet his grandchildren, and she won't have anything to do with it? That's not compassionate. And also the hypocrisy and the lies are not what I think are decent values in people. Sorry.
All of those things seem to outweigh the fact that a black woman has said that
nothing to do with her being
Everything
black.
is about racism. She has ultimately turned around and said that institution is racist, and everyone has decided to pile on. So let me just tell you, in terms of my thoughts, at best, these individuals are weak, insecure, hate to see a rift, and have a positive prejudice towards the royal family. And at worst, they are a bunch of disgusting racists who fail to acknowledge their racial prejudice and actually find solace in seeking self-esteem and status from gaslighting black people. It is either one or the other or both.
Here's the problem. I would have said exactly the same thing if she'd been white. Exactly the same thing.
So what's the point that you're trying to make?
And actually, Kate Middleton, who came in, she got criticised very heavily by the media early on in that relationship.
But she didn't have to contend with racism,
and she just did her duty, accepted in return for all the luxury.
But she didn't contend with racism, though, did she?
These two...
She didn't contend with racism, though, did she?
Where did the racism come from?
OK, so you're clearly not understanding, so I'll break it down
you're not
again.
understanding
you're not
me.
understanding about the institution.
Where did the racism come from?
I'll answer.
Tell me who was racist and when.
OK, I'm going to answer for you, OK?
Who and when?
Right, let's just start with the institution.
You can't just say everyone's racist.
OK, so let me answer.
Yeah.
Who and when?
OK, so let me answer, OK? Firstly, racism, as I've said over the last several years, and I'll say it again, racism is firmly interwoven into the fabric of British society due to its historical context.
Right.
And
that wasn't my question.
And that way, I'm answering your question.
Not my question.
Let me finish, Piers.
Who was racist to Meghan and Harry in the British media? Or who was racist at the palace? And when were they racist?
Can I answer your question now?
Sure, give me one example.
Perfect. So, racism is firmly interwoven into the fabric of British society.
Just give me an example.
Secondly, I'm going to make my point. I'm going to make my point. Hold on a second. Secondly, the royal family smeared their own name, tarnished their own name by failing to adopt anti-racism stances.
Right. Is there one example or not?
Hold on a second, and they've perpetuated racism.
I only want one example.
I'm giving you the example.
Of the British media being racist or someone at the palace and who wasn't?
I'm giving you an example. Let me finish, please. Is that OK, Piers? Thank you very much. So,
you can answer the question.
I'm going to answer the question. So, in terms of the institution, I'm going to give you several examples of covert racism, clearly, as you don't understand. First,
can you give me one example?
I'm going to.
I do, but I see the flip side as well. I see where it's manipulated.
We're going to have to go to a break.
The Queen gives out badges that ultimately depicts a white man with wings.
Everything.
The Queen
either give me an example or say you can't.
I'm giving you examples, but you won't let me speak.
Give me one specific example.
I'm giving you examples. All right, so in terms of media, because this is what happens with you, you're clearly not trying to hear me.
Just ask for a fact.
In terms of the media, we've already seen a clear distinction between how the media has displayed or spoken or represented, obviously, in terms of how they've represented Meghan and how they've represented... Yes, I do. In terms of holding a baby. Kate held her stomach and therefore it was fine. Meghan held her stomach and she's a terrible person. This is an example of covert racism. No, it's called covert racism that you don't understand.
Oh, it's nonsense, Iman. There is no racism in the British media to Meghan Markle. There never has been. None of it has been racist.
Fine. You can continue to perpetuate your covert racism on national television.
You know what? OK, I've got to leave it there. I have to leave it there. We've had a good run at this. I don't have any racism covert or overt.
No, you have racial prejudice, and it manifests itself.
I have no racial prejudice whatsoever.
That's what you don't understand about
I have
anti-racism,
none
Piers.
whatsoever.
That's what you don't understand.
I
about
wouldn't be giving you 21
Piers.
minutes of my show
on a
regular basis
this is what
if I had a
happens.
racial prejudice.
But this is what happens. So white people tend to justify either sleeping with a black person, having a black friend, or hiring a black person as to make sure they're exempt
and I'm not
from
going to
racial
hire
prejudice.
you, but I will keep having you back as a commentator if you can provide some facts behind the extreme rhetoric.
Yes, which I did.
You can't just say everyone's racist in Britain, but I can't give you a single example.
I explained to you that she already experienced racism within that institution. I already told you that, and you've gaslit that woman just like the rest of the media.
I know, I'm a gaslighting covert racist.
Yes,
Thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Yes, you are indeed.
All right, great to see you.
Thank you.